Hello and welcome to the political fight back begins. And the way we win is to get Great Britain on the blockchain because all legal and political influence stem from economic power. So today we have a talk with Robin Hood at the Realm of England. But before we start, we just got the intro. Here we go.
We have before us the opportunity to forge a new world order.
We will be looking at what contact tracing looks like in the new world order.
Not only fight for Ukraine, we fight for this new world order.
And the leader of the opposition and the deep state.
This is exactly what this government wants. It's communism 101.
For the new world order.
Here we go, Mr. Robin Hood, are you there?
Hello.
Excellent. How we doing?
All right.
All right, let's crack on with some news that we've got to tell the listeners.
Yep.
Go for it.
So, well, I was just waiting for you to go in and say that we've been to court today.
Mm-hmm.
We've attended court at 2:00. They've made us wait.
Yeah, over an hour.
For an hour and over an hour.
Yep.
When my case was booked in for 2:00, I demanded the case. I then issued jurisdictional challenges, which they've ignored. These have all been assented to by the High Court by acquiescence. Every document, as you can verify, because you were one of the witnesses, was stamped by the High Court and placed on record, and then served to the lower court, the administrative court, without record and without commission, and stamped and received there. So that should have been the end of it. We've estoppeled the case in, I think it's 5 jurisdictions. And again, they've ignored the law.
Well, we know that's what they do. That's their game, isn't it?
Well, they believe that they can run from a different jurisdiction outside of a foreign state. And what I mean by foreign state, it's not foreign to England. What it means is that it's under a foreign jurisdiction and foreign state, as in the inner city of London.
Which in itself is also a corporation.
Correct. I mean, it runs the SRA, again, a corporation. Right?
So they're hiding behind the corporate veil.
Yep. And this is what they're doing. They think they're above the law. Now, the reason I stamped my documents, and you can, you witness them, they're all blood sealed. They all come under Lex Terrain jurisdiction.
And for those who don't know what it is, can you just explain that?
Yeah, it means law of the land. It means the superior law, or it's a Latin term that means the superior authority and jurisdiction to all of these courts that are nothing more than fraud courts. They're fiction courts.
Yep.
And fiction has to yield to reality. And these won't. All the magistrates are not magistrates. They're corporate officers. They're administrative officers only. They have no commission. Only commissioned agents are the high courts. That's why their stamp's red. The lower courts were removed in 1972, ready to go into Europe. And it states it in Local Governments Act, section 1972, section 228. It confirms. You've seen it yourself, Tosh.
Yep.
And it states all common law courts are abolished. So your county courts, your magistrate courts are now nothing more than SRA, Bar Guild, foreign courts. That's what it means by foreign. It's a foreign jurisdiction. And as to the Supremacies Act, that's treason. Still in force is the Supremacies Act. The Treason Act is still in force.
They're just going to hope it's not.
They can hope whatever they want. They're working on the fact of human trafficking, which has been highlighted in our documents. You know, I mean, we've put a memorandum of legal pluralation in, which means dual person, and the hierarchy of law, jurisdictional challenge. So it reads memorandum of record of constitutional objection to administrative legal P, and it's spelled PLURALISM. Right, that this context of corporate and statutory system that produced outside the supremacy of Lex Terrain Angling, laws of the land of England. It is set that the executive position that the modern registration system operates against the Constitution, conveying living status into corporate fiction without consent, and thus belonging to an unlawful jurisdiction. Lex Terrain and constitutional supremacy. Under the customs and Constitution of England, only Lex Terrain, the law of the land, carries sovereign authority. All administrating or corporate system deriving validity only from the Crown in Parliament and its oath. Void. Parliament has no authority outside of Parliament. It's in the Bill of Rights.
We're up against mafia, mate.
Well, as you've seen today, it is literally all about the surname, the all caps version.
Yep.
So, you know, the reason why we do these documents and we serve it to them, and it's stamped and dated, and we do it through the red ribbon, blood seal, to prove the lineage of life. Because the corporate person, this is what they call you as, a corporate person, never leaves the page. Doesn't bleed, doesn't breathe. You cannot, no matter how hard you try, can breathe life into a piece of paper. Can't do it.
They'll try though, won't they? Because they are just, it's deception.
It's absolute deception, it's fraud, it's usurpation, and it's under usurpation, it's the mandatory death penalty. It's usurpation of our constitutional rights and lineages. It comes under perpetuity law. Now, you've read a lot of the documents that I've put in. There's not one misinformation in there. Not one.
Oh, really good.
There's lawful jurisdictional challenges in law. There's estoppels in 5 different jurisdictions. Under Lex Terrain, under public outrage, under commerce, under commercial, merchants, and under equity. And they're still carried on.
Yeah.
And you've seen today that it's just the same absolute nonsense. We stated that they've got to prove the warrant. They held me for 32 hours without conviction and without charge.
Yeah.
They brought me to a court. The judge in the first case, I stated, and you are, and I went, Terry, . And he said, thank you, Terry. He didn't call me Sullivan, he didn't call me anything. That was done by the legal advisor so they could access the trust. And all they wanted to do today, are you Mr. Sullivan? Are you Terry Sullivan? All caps fiction. Now, as we've discovered, right, this is human trafficking. Because it comes under, and this is what we've done, Appendix J, Memorandum of Notice and Rebuttal Jurisdiction Challenge, and operated to illegal conversion. Lex Terrain again, blood oath, seal, live birth notification form to the clerk of the court at Leeds Magistrate, Administrative Division, ignored, claimant, style, Terry Sullivan, jurisdiction challenge, and operation, objection to illegal conversion. Purpose, the memorandum and notice is submitted for constitutional record and public transparency. combining formal challenge and administrative legal. Again, it's that plasomia, corporate identity conversion. The jurisdiction presumption in the claim, style Terry Sullivan, all capital letters, is the executor, primacy, and superior statute under lex terrain, and denies any presumption authority over the living executor, depriving from corporate license, court, or Roman administrative systems. And that's what they're under, which I'll go in. The modern permits administrative courts and statutory systems to function alongside lex terrain Anglian jurisdiction, right, but by illegal conversion. So what they've done is, however, constitutional supremacy remains exclusively in lex terrain. The law of the land of England, which derives authority from the people through the imperial crown and its oath. All administrative and corporate systems owed their validation to consent. When consent is absent, the system operates at ultravirus and in fraud of constitution. The executor therefore challenges any attempt to apply administrative jurisdiction outside constitutional supremacy and customs of the realm. Illegal conversion to Roman translitigation as to the Companies Act 2006 sections 1180 and 1109 and connects sections 790LC and 790L to LQ defines a person as a body corporate or legal entity. Through the Roman translation of names into capital characters, all caps, a living man is remains as a corporate instrument or person. Excuse me. When did any of us agree to this? This language shifts enables illegal conversion of identity by means of registration and statutory function. The Secretary of State, acting under Companies Act and agency codes, has therefore created a systemic departure from constitutional law, creating living names to corporate records used for debt management and public sector securities without written consent of the executor. Now that's what it states in the Companies Act. Identifiers, conversion extends across state registration, including your driving license, passport, ID forms, ID 1 to ID 5 forms, as well as your birth certificate. Each act as an administrative record of a corporate persona, not the living executor. This is why they call it residency, because only the persona resides. Under the Digital Economies Act 2017, Section 35 and 34, under the Digital Reforms, Digital Economics Act, Section 35 and 34, these regulations are input to the public sector debt management system, which license department to traffic in the digital identifiers of citizens, corporate slaves. This process continued unauthorized conversion of state and property into commercial liabilities, contrary to lex terrain, Anglian, and into natural law principles that the living may not be bound without consent. So they're binding us without our consent. They're changing us by the illegal conversion into the public sector debt vessel.
And that's Ashby
the
versus
state
White.
Has no authority. R.B. White.
Yep. No man may be bound without consent.
Correct. The state has no authority to assume consent by silence or non-response. Consent is valid only where freely given after full disclosure. Any system that pursues agreement through registration or use of administrative document acts in violation of consensus fit ligam. Consent makes law. So that's a maxim of law. So it breaches now maxims of law. Compulsory by registration or policy is constructive fraud and in breach of natural rights. Jurisdictional challenge and burden of proof. The executor does not evade law but demands proof of jurisdiction. From all who assert it, burden of proof rests with the claimant to produce commission, oath, and lawful contract. No enforcement or liability may be imposed until such proof appears under the seal and wetting signature of the court and of the commissioned officer as to the Royal Courts of Justice. End of.
Just
And it
goes
must
to
have the
show-
great seal of the people, and the court must hold the imperial crown, red wax seal. Without those, every piece of document that county court and magistrates issue are void. Ab initio. The fraudulent. Administrative courts lacking great seal authority, have no powers over the executor. This is what they don't want you to know. Ask for the great seal. And it's not something, it's a stamp. It's an authority stamp in red. Any black seal with the crown in it is an administrative fiction stamp. It has no authority whatsoever. None. The judicial practice cannot supersede reality. Unproven jurisdiction is fiction, void in law. As we've just said, fiction has to yield to reality. Safeguards and hierarchies of law. Lex terrene, the law of the land, and the imperial constitution of England. Common law and equity express justice arising from oath and custom of the crown. That's the imperial crown. Statutory administration law valid only by lawful consent and oath. Well, they're not under oath, they're under affirmation. And they have to have your written consent. If they haven't got that, there's no case. Corporate codes. Subordinate policies binding only their members. The SRA, the police force, the judges, SRA, and all court officials, HMCTS, councils. They can't bind you and me, the men and women. Any inversion of this hierarchy through registration or digital license constitutes usurpation of constitutional supremacy and creates constructive fraud against the executor and the people of England. Well, usurpation is the death penalty because it's usurping our constitutional rights. It's mandatory. Specifically objection to claims styled all caps in any name that you want. The executor therefore serves notice that the claim liable or labelled all caps is an administrative instrument of Roman translitigation and has no standing at common law, superior law. Leeds magistrate courts operate as an administrative limb under statute and is not a court of record under the imperial crown. Therefore, it must produce within 14 days verified evidence of oath, commission, and seal authorising proceedings against the executor. Absence of such proof or actions against the living executor are void ab initio and constitute fraud and conversion in law. Absence of reality and non-consent. Reality yields to no process. No assertion has been given to administrative jurisdiction or universal powers of attorney. And this means that they then can take away our power of attorney by illegal conversion and turning you into the debt slave. Any assumption, agreement of jurisdiction in violation of natural law and constructive taking of property and status, that's your name, that's the live birth notification form, and your constitutional supremacy rights under the imperial crown, the highest crown in England. It's our crown, it's not theirs. Until contract and jurisdiction are proven under the Great Seal, no enforcement is lawful and no obligation exists. So if the police come without a warrant and kidnap you, that's human trafficking. It's as simple as that.
Kidnapping, unlawful arrest,
Illegal detention, by force, deadly weapons, handcuffs, none of them can be used. But they can be used against the debt slaves that fail to come in. This is why it's so important to understand the jurisdictions. That's why Lex Terrain, Lord of the Land, is superior to any administrative fiction. It's all fiction. All comes under vessels, admiralty. Any judge or officer involved in the case matter is required to take judicial notice that the corporation translitigation is disputed and fraudulent in form. Act with no oath, commission, or Great Seal authority are without legal effect and when applied to the living executor. This notice forms part of the executor's constitutional bundle, Appendix A to J, inclusive, which has all been stamped and been certified by the Royal Courts of Justice, the High Court, in red and recorded to be maintained in the High Court and copied to the Administrative Division at Leeds in accordance with record reference live birth notification form 01 to 03, life proven, Lex Terrain and Lane recorded 2026. The executor confirms that no consent has been given or implied. All acts of illegal conversion through registration, translitigation, or license are void as to contrary to the and Constitution of England. The burden of proof and production of authority lies with those who assert jurisdiction. Let executor under Lex Terrain Anglian and Imperial Crown Authority of the living people of England. All sealed in blood, all stamped, signatured, fraud cannot stand as law. Fiction has no power over reality, maxim of law. Assent not given, no means no jurisdiction. There you go.
The level of criminality is just insane at the moment, mate. Like, you know, we're up against mafia, aren't we?
Well, I mean, as you witnessed today, you came to the court, the judge literally relies upon your name.
Yeah.
So that they can do the illegal conversion. It's as simple as that. I put in the 12 presumptions. Not only did I put in the rebuttal of the 12 presumptions, which they're now ignoring because they know they've all got caught, I also put in the rebuttal of the Cester v. Trust 1707 and 1666, which presumes my death or that I'm lost at sea.
Yeah, there weren't even any magistrates there this time.
No,
None.
there was literally one person behind there who literally wanted to confirm my name. Yeah. A jurisdictional challenge, which has been put in to the higher court, who's not rebutted it. And as me and you went, what did they confirm? There's no arrest warrant in my name. So that's home invasion by the police. Treason. Felony treason. Hey there, Toshi.
Yeah, mate, yeah. I'm just thinking, like, listening to all of this, my brain can't help trying to hatch a plan.
Well, the fact is, what did they confirm? One, there was no warrant. And two, the police cannot enforce a warrant. She confirmed it. Wrong jurisdiction. All the police forces are under license and corporate entities. The commissioned officers are all supposed to be Lex Terrain, Anglian under the Imperial Crown and Great Seal of England.
Well, the thing is though, they're all in bed with each other because it's the cops that are meant to enforce all this. You know, and same as the.
And what did the woman say at the High Court when I took and she stamped the document that said there was no warrant in my name?
Yeah. She said they can't do that. They can't issue a warrant, and they actually said there was no warrant.
There's no warrant, and they can't issue a warrant to the police. Wrong jurisdiction. They're a private corporation. They confirmed it at the High Court.
It's going to require an army of people to put this right.
Listen, the army's there. People have just got to stop trying to slag people off, call people out, and understand the jurisdictional challenge. These courts in county and magistrates' courts are only fiction courts where you've been illegally converted into the debt vessel to pay off the public sector debt. These courts are automatically unbiased because, as to the Courts Act, what they fine you, they get. So they breach the maxim of law. No judge can stand in his own cause. But they're all getting paid. The courts are receiving the money from the fines. So they'll never find you not guilty. Have you heard anything as absolutely rambunctious as that? It's appalling.
It is, mate. It's criminality at its criminality
at its finest.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
The magistrates' courts and district courts. No Great Seal. No authority. All those people that had the house stolen must now make a claim through the FCA and report it to the Serious Fraud Squad of the military, because it's administrative fraud by illegal conversion.
Fraud's just
turning
massive,
you without
mate.
your consent by the Secretary of State and Parliament under their corporate officers. We all know, we've all seen it. It's not pie in the sky, it's all not made up. It's not cuckoo land. Every government department is under licence.
Yep.
And they're all trading as private corporations. And as we've just demonstrated, every section of that removes you into the residency, slave, not the inhabitant. It's all done through the council who run the Licensing Act. Now, West Yorkshire Police are now unproven, and I'm going to take it all in next week. I'm demanding a full judicial review of the police force. 32 hours detention. No crime committed. Only an accusation. And you know, not being awful, but you and about 5 other people have got the video evidence.
Indeed.
Of my assault with deadly weapon, of the assault on me by emergency workers that are impersonating police officers. Because what did it say on their body armour? Police. They're not police, they're emergency workers.
Yeah.
Therefore, that's fraud. It's deception. And they're not under oath. They're under affirmation. They all state it, they're under affirmation. And they have no common law commission. The Pace Act states it. The Police Act states it. And even the 2015 Police Act states it. They're commercial constructs under nothing more than statutes of Parliament, legislation. It carries no authority above me and you. None. The police now are guilty of fraud, theft, and treason. And it's written in their own policies. And do they read it? No. That, what's her name now has come out, that Matt Mahood, whatever her name is. She's come out and said all police forces now will go under licence. Sorry, cockadoodle, but they're already under licence. Failing to disclose licence or jurisdiction and gain consent as a corporate body is fraud. You can estoppel it straight away under equity for damages, under commercial activity for wrong jurisdiction, under common law for public outrage, because now it's misconduct in public office. That's when you can bring the treason charges in. And as you witnessed today, what did I charge the judge with? Treason and contempt of court. Did I or did I not?
Indeed. Yeah, there's more than that. It's malfeasance in public office. Everything.
Right? Because she was on her way out. She'd literally gone for the security to escort me out because she wouldn't deal with the superior challenge to authority. She couldn't prove that they'd got it. They knew they couldn't prove it. We've had the documentation in. It's been signed for, has it not? And been stamped. You've been with me, and it's been proven that it's been received. All the documents are stamped. The jurisdictional challenge, multiple jurisdictional challenges, multiple evidence shown, sestequation demanded. When I demanded that today, she just ignored me and carried on, didn't they?
Yeah, they just railroaded you, mate.
They just attempted so they could get out of the court. So I've gone today and I've got it stamped that I've attended. I left at 3:15. My court case was at 2 o'clock. And the judge bailed. And by having me removed by security while in the act of treason, usurpation, and illegal conversion into the state debt vessel, as to the Secretary of State, fraud and parliamentary fraud, is a disgrace.
Yeah, mate, it's a massive mafia that we're up against. Massive. But the thing is, though, the first step of coming up with a solution is fundamentally understanding the problem, and that is what we've now got a grasp on.
Well, it's there. They will not answer any questions that puts their securitization under threat. We've just done that today. The police have no authority, none. It's there in law. We've put a full challenge into the police authority. We've had it confirmed by the High Court. There was not an arrest warrant for me. The High Court commissioned officers cannot issue an arrest warrant to the police force because they're a private corporation. That was done by one of the senior court managers.
So really,
they confirmed it twice. There was no warrant out for my arrest. So West Yorkshire Police Force now are in serious trouble.
Yeah, let's see how this one plays out, mate.
Well, there'll be full judicial review going in for Monday morning. There'll be a full demand for sestequation and removal of all the judges in every lower court, and the removal fully of the CPS, because the CPS were put under jurisdictional challenge and what crown they're working under, because they cannot be working from the Imperial Crown. They're a private corporation. They're on Company's House, for God's sake.
I would suggest putting those any action that you're going to take. I'd suggest doing it ASAP, because they're just simply going to be following their own processes, which we know are completely criminal.
Well, the fact is, look, this is why I'm putting this public notice out now, right? I've got me outside the court, photographed, turned up. I've got witnesses that I turned up at the court. I've got jurisdictional challenges here, stamped, signed, and done. I've got a notice from the court that I attended and didn't leave till 3:15 after my case was an hour late. You can verify as a public statement now, the judge left the building, left the courtroom. She could not answer the jurisdictional challenge and failed to uphold her fiduciary duty. It's as simple as that.
The problem isn't this. Well, that's the problem nailed, but it's dealing with those who are orchestrating this crime. The crime is just massive.
Yes, but it's the people now that are turning up to these courts have got to realise they've no jurisdiction. Jurisdictional challenge. It's all fraud. It's all send it to the Crown's office. The office of the Crown. It's their fiction, it's not yours. It states on the birth certificate, and this is what gets me, this is what makes me laugh. They've used a name that ain't even my fucking name. The Indigenous Peoples Treaty, Charter. You cannot force a name on somebody else or improper jurisdiction. CH1, CH3, CH8. I put the Bar Guild under canon law. You've read it.
I did.
And they breached it. So they breached their own jurisdiction. Because they only see us as debt slaves. And that's what everybody's got to understand. It's not about you, it's not about me. This is nothing more than debt slavery. The state's bankrupt. It's now put all us as birth certificate chattel that makes you incompetent. The P in your passport stands for pauper, pleb,
person,
ward of the state, soft in the head. You have no rights when you go into those courts. I stated today I was the executor from start to finish. Jurisdictional challenge. You've got to prove it. I brought in the maxim. No. Fiction must yield. Did she yield? No. Did she yield to the executive superior status? No. She breached her fiduciary duty. She now has to be removed immediately. All of them do. The only gentleman that I met was when I was banged up for 32 hours. I walked into that court. I identified myself as I can identify as to the Indigenous Peoples Act. I can self-identify. I am Terry . And the judge at that said, okay, Terry. He confirmed who I was. Told it to the administrator today. Failed to listen. Ignored it. Treated me as the fictional slave under the Secretary of State. The government is now proven to be deliberately usurpation of our constitutional rights. Proven. They're in the document.
I would say it's all about moving first now, mate. Get those documents in, prove what they've done.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah. We know that. I mean, the thing is, I'll do them. And listen, the fact is now, the High Court of Leeds has confirmed the police force cannot issue arrest warrants. They're wrong jurisdiction. They cannot issue them arrest warrants at all. Any warrant that is not there in paper form is hearsay. It's fraud.
Yeah, they need to show it.
It's there in the Superior Courts Act. And it's there under the CPR rules 70 to 73, 73 to 73.3, 73.7, Superior Courts Act section 61, subsection 129. It has to be signed by a commissioned officer, and it has to have the Imperial Crown Seal or the Great Seal of the court. And the only people that can sign that arrest warrant are High Court judges. No administrator judge, no magistrate, whatever you want to call them these days, they're not commissioned operatives of the court. They are fictional slave masters. They're in breach of the slavery. It's all, literally, this is now going to the European Court, the UN Court, as an emergency and a state of emergency in England and Wales, Northern Ireland and Great Britain. Northern Ireland and Scotland. Because we've all been conned under the same acts. Every act of Parliament is void. It is repugnant to the Constitution. They have literally taken us off the land and put us across the waters of commerce as debt vessel slaves, in servitude and chattel by birth certificate, national insurance number, and registration documents, as residents of commercial enterprise.
Yeah, there's a lot there, mate. Probably a good time to wrap it up. 42 minutes.
Yep, fine, mate.
All right, mate. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that listening. Certainly a load of wisdom and knowledge there from Robin Hood at the Realm of England. So again, if you want more knowledge, go to the website, join up. It's literally safety in numbers. And then obviously anybody who knows me knows what my plan is. So you need to get on board with both, because we need to fight them as a three-pronged attack. There is legal, lawful, political, and economic. They're the ones we need. So I hope you enjoyed the show, and as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.
My main interest in all this is to preserve our democratic institutions. I want to retain the right to vote, the right to speak freely, and the right to write. If we maintain these basic principles, our democracy is safe. No dictatorship can exist with suffrage, freedom of speech and press.